Hi, I'm John.
Hi,
I will be your therapist.
my name's Julia.
Hey, Julie. Hi. What brings you here today?
Um, I've been starting to have like some social anxiety,
Okay.
and it's not really like with friends or with family on a regular day-to-day basis. It's that part of my job is to go to meetings and interview doctors,
hmm
and that's where it's happening, where I'm having really bad social anxiety.
Okay. So, what can you explain to me what happens when you start having the social anxiety? Like, what's going through your head? Is
Um,
there any like physical feelings? Like,
Kind of happens in two ways. Like I get nervous before I meet the doctors. Like, oh my god, don't trip over your words. Don't mess up drug names. Don't like say their names wrong because they're professionals and you have to respect them. But also like I get there and it's like I get so flustered. Like my heart beats a little fast and like sometimes I can't catch my breath and I get a little shaky and I just feel like you're gonna screw it up. Don't screw it
all
up.
right. I'm sorry that's happening.
Thank you.
That's got to be really difficult to get through.
Yeah.
Um, so like when that's happening, do you like? Is it more the thoughts that's distracting you, or is the feelings like the heart
It's the
racing?
thoughts because that all the physical stuff I can kind of like
You
ignore.
kind
Like
of
I
get
like to
through.
run, so like my heart beats fast when I run, and then sometimes I get like short of breath because I'm running so hard. So that stuff I can ignore, but it's the mental don't screw it up that I can't
hmm
get out of my head.
Okay. Okay. Um. So what? Why do you think you're gonna screw it up? Have you had a time in the past that you screwed up? I mean, have you ever had any feedback from your bosses, your colleagues that you did something wrong? Or,
No, I mean when I started the job, like I hadn't filmed videos a lot, and so like I had to learn how to do that. But I got the hang of it, and we don't get anything but good feedback. Like I go to these meetings and do separate projects than the regular editors of the journal or
okay.
the publication. And they always come back and tell my boss, like, your team did a great job. They worked with top doctors. We were really
Wow,
impressed. They're
that's
very
really. Oh,
professional.
okay.
And it's hard for me to listen to that because I'm always like, really? Like, I feel like I did really bad.
Right. Well, we're always our own we're our own worst critics, you know.
Right.
It may always seem like we always might feel like we're doing a bad job, but it never really turns out to be that way.
Right.
And that you got feedback from your boss and your company. It sounds like you do a good job. So
Mm-hmm.
I would just try to keep that in mind.
Okay.
Like when you're having those thoughts, like keep those moments in mind that it's just all a story in your head. Like,
Yeah.
you know, you obviously have done a good job.
Right. Right.
Um, so what is it the so what makes you nervous when talking to doctors? Is it just your like the drug names and stuff, or is it
They're just really smart. And like
really
I've
smart?
always wanted to do this. Like I went to undergrad for journalism and graduate school for health communication. So like I'm
hmm
doing exactly what I want to do, medical writing. But I think sometimes I just get nervous. Like they're the doctors, they're the really smart ones. Why should I be asking them stuff? Like, what
Right,
do I know, kind of thing.
right. Yeah, that I can see that being intimidating.
Hmm.
When people go to and it's normal to feel that way. A lot of
Right.
people get nervous when they go to doctors themselves because uh, doctors kind of have that position of like authority and talking to somebody who is more experienced than you um, can be a little nerve-wracking, overwhelming.
Didn't think about that part of it. Yeah.
So it's perfectly normal. I mean, I wouldn't beat yourself up about it.
Okay.
I, I think the issue though with you is that it's just distracting you from doing your job.
Definitely.
Like, do you find that you just kind of blank out sometimes?
Sometimes, yeah, and I kind of like, okay, you got to get your job done. But
Right.
sometimes that's happened, and other times I just feel like, okay, I did that, but it was really bad.
Okay. So, you mentioned that you enjoy exercise. You like running, you said, right?
Yeah.
Have you, in the past, tried running before you go to these meetings?
No, because I always am like, I have to be there early enough. Like, I don't want to get up even more early to go
Right.
run.
Right. Okay. So, that the option won't be possible for you to do if you.
I mean, it's not so bad. Like, my first appointment at the next meeting I have is like 8:15, so it could help because, like you made me think about how the physical stuff doesn't bother me when I'm running. So maybe it's a good idea to get all that energy out and think through what I'm going to say while I'm running, and I'm just kind of in my own space, so that when I get there, I'm not so nervous.
Yeah, that's a great idea. If you think that's possible to do that, I would suggest that because exercise is relaxing and it might help kind of quiet down all those anxiety-provoking thoughts that are going on in your head.
Right.
So, what have you done in the past, really, to kind of like you've had anxiety before during these things? What have you done to really get through it? 'Cause obviously, you've gotten through it.
Right.
You're able to do your job because you've gotten great reviews from your bosses and stuff.
Right.
So, what did you do to get through those interviews and do such an amazing job?
I don't know. I kind of just tried to not say anything about how I felt and just go on autopilot. And the doctors really never said anything. They always said it was great working with you. We're happy to work with you again. So I just kind of tried to keep it all in my own head.
Right.
And then after the meetings, I'd kind of okay, if I had to take a minute and go get a drink of water, or sometimes we're at really nice places, so I'd go outside and just be outside for a second.
Okay.
But I never felt like I really got past it. I just got through it.
Right. Well, there's unfortunately anxiety is you can't stop it from happening.
Mm-hmm.
But if you try to stop it from happening, that's the worst thing you can do. It just makes your anxiety worse.
Right.
So I would say what you were doing was perfect.
Okay.
Getting through it. That's basically how you can deal with anxiety. Is you just try to get through it.
I guess that just never felt like a solution, but that helps me feel
yeah,
you are trying to help yourself.
Yeah, and obviously you've gotten through it. I mean, you've done a great job, like your boss said. So those times where you said you went outside or you got a drink of water to kind of calm yourself down, or just kind of relax a little bit. Those are all great coping strategies, and I suggest that you continue doing that.
Okay.
And the thoughts that go in your head about not doing a good job and everything, and how these doctors are so smart. I would just tell yourself that, just remind yourself of those times when your bosses praised you.
Okay.
And those times that you've gone through this.
Right.
And like you said, the doctors never said anything to you. Nobody's ever noticed anything.
Right.
You never had any bad feedback.
Right.
So just keep that in mind when that stuff's going on.
Okay.
And yeah, so when you're at these meetings, can you, let's say you're having a moment where you're kind of feeling overwhelmed, is there a way you can step away for a moment?
I mean, I don't really have anybody who can take over for me, but I always have at least a few minutes in between appointments.
Okay.
So I can always take the time, like you said, to get a drink of water or step away, to get outside for a second. So maybe I just have to make sure I build that time into my schedule.
Okay.
I think that might help.
That sounds like a good plan.
Okay.
That sounds like a good plan. So when's your next meeting?
Soon, like a couple days.
A couple days?
Yeah.
And how long are you going to be going for?
Just 2 days.
Just 2 days?
Yeah.
Okay. So next time I see you, which will be next week, during your time at this next meeting, I would say maybe at the end of your meetings, maybe just when you get home, keep a little journal and record. Would you be comfortable keeping a journal?
Oh yeah.
Well,
definitely.
just kind of record down, your experience of the day, how anxious you felt.
Okay.
On a scale of 1 to 10.
Okay.
And write down kind of what you did to get through that.
Okay.
Or if you didn't get through, I just write down basically
that I feel like
what your experience was.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And then when you come back next week, we want to talk about these experiences and maybe come up with some other strategies, or just continue with the strategies we discussed.
If they worked.
If they worked.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. That sounds like it could really help.
All right, Julia. Well, it was great meeting you,
You too.
and good luck.
All right. Thank you very much.